After months of painful teasing, Tim Burton's latest twisted masterpiece, Wednesday, finally arrived on November 23rd. The horror fantasy coming-of-age series centered on Wednesday Addams. We're sure you missed some specifics. Number 10. The set design contains references to Tim Burton's films. Thanks to all the fan edits, we know Tyler and Xavier have caught your attention, but the set design is full of secrets if you look closely. Wednesday production designer Mark Scruton disclosed to Variety and Netflix's Tudum that concealed references were integrated into the show's sets, notably in the normie hamlet of Jericho. Scruton explained how they stole some props right out of the Chas Addams cartoons. There's a florist, a cobbler, and a thrift store, all of which can be seen in the former show. In addition to nods to the original Addams Family cartoons, the showrunners' surnames, Miles Miller and Alfred Goh, appear on the window of Wednesday's therapist's office. And Tyler's workplace is full of hidden references. At Weathervane's coffee shop, a nod to Tim's movies beckons the walls. Close inspection reveals a headless horseman motif from Burton's Sleepy Hollow, as well as Willy Wonka's top hat. Scruton revealed that there are a few mice buried in the taxidermy shop Uriah's Heap that also reference Burton's films. The final Burton-inspired Easter egg may be found in the corridors of Nevermore Academy, directly in Principal Weems' office, a shrunken head from 1988's Beetlejuice. Number 9. Wednesday's dislike for pilgrims is a nod to Addams Family values. Our stormy heroine gets into a coffee shop brawl in the first episode of Wednesday because she despises pilgrims. Her petulant hate for the Pilgrim World, a pilgrim-themed amusement park near Jericho, is a nod to the classic sequel Addams Family Values. If you wondered whether her character had a real motive for holding a grudge, let's explain. Fans of the movie will quickly piece 2 and 2 together. Wednesday and Pugsley are condemned to Camp Chippewa. In the movie, Wednesday sets fire to the camp's romanticized Thanksgiving performance while delivering her notorious monologue about the cruelty of the pilgrims. Number 8, the Venus flytrap of Thornhill. If you were aching to see familiar faces, Tim heard you loud and clear. Christina Ricci's sly and wonderful acting chops graced our screens once again. She plays Professor Thornhill, who is a carnivorous plant expert. She's also in charge of greeting new female students at Ophelia Hall, and she does so with a carefully chosen plant that matches their style and personality. I try to pair each of my girls with the correct flower, she explains. She then hands a potted black dahlia to Wednesday. Thornhill often tends to be a Venus flytrap throughout the season. Nothing could better describe her demeanor and function in the program. Venus flytraps have been observed eating flies and arachnids, and the persistence in trapping prey is lethal. The same is true for Thornhill, who is revealed to be Laurel Gates. The Gates family was dealt a blow in 1990 when Morticia Addams mistakenly killed their son Garrett. Soon after, the parents died, and Laurel, now an orphan, was transported overseas, where she perished. However, nobody was ever found. Much to our surprise, Laurel is still on the quest more than 3 decades later. Tyler's power to shift into a hide monster is discovered, and she makes him her slave. She asks that he kill several Nevermore students as well as town residents to fulfill a ritual to resurrect the settlement's founder, Joseph Crackstone. She is, in every sense, a Venus flytrap. Tucked behind thick-rimmed glasses, she ensnares people with her charm and humor, and when she has someone in her clutches, she delivers her final blow. Number 7, Frankenstein's monster makes an appearance. For those who've worn out the pages of their classic novels, this one might be obvious. Wednesday is working on her manuscript in episode 6 when Thornhill swings by to drop off a copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. But this gesture is a huge plot reveal. Thornhill's presentation of the book is an admission of guilt as well as hint of what she's been up to. The film Frankenstein explores the narrative of Victor Frankenstein and how he created his monster out of human body parts. The coroner witnesses the killer chopping off body parts with some sort of saw early in the show. Wednesday discovers a cellar full of body parts in jars while inspecting the old Gates estate, which Thornhill subsequently uses in a horrific ritual to resurrect Crackstone. When Thornhill recites a line from the Book of Shadows, electricity enters the jars and illuminates the chamber. Thunderous roars shake the room as lightning cuts across the night sky. The drama doesn't end here. Thornhill's cry is half expected, "It's come to life, it's come to life." If it wasn't evident, the pivotal sequence is a loose copy of the iconic scene from James Whale's 1931 film Frankenstein. Joseph Crackstone emerges from the shadows, intent on destroying Nevermore Academy. Number 6. Edgar Allan's poems live on. It's no coincidence that Edgar Allan Poe is a fictional alumnus of Nevermore Academy. Aside from the school's name being a Poe creation, Poe's The Raven focuses on a man driven insane by a talking raven that only says, "Nevermore." There are Poe references throughout the series. Wednesday has a gloomy and significant vision of ravens. Principal Weems has a taxidermied raven on her desk. And the Poe Cup is a mixture of Poe literary information. By name or design, each team boat in the race refers to one of the Poe's short stories. Enid and Wednesday's team boat is called the Black Cat. Bianca's team boat is called the Gold Bug. Xavier's team boat is called the Amontillado, and the 4th team boat is called the Pit and the Pendulum. Number 5. There are old and new references made to the Addams Family introduction. Pugsley's slightly humiliating introduction might ring a bell. In the first episode, Wednesday saves Pugsley from a school locker after bullies stuff him inside. He is shown tied up with a red string, helpless with an apple trapped in his mouth. This is a reference to the 1991 film The Addams Family, in which Pugsley is tied up with an apple in his mouth for the first time. The only distinction? Wednesday was busy trying to aim for the apple and testing her archery skills. A couple more Addams Family members make an appearance in the episode. Grandmama Addams, Aunt Ophelia, and Cousin It all appear in the new series in different capacities. A painted painting of Ignatius It hangs on the wall in the nightshade cellar. Who knows? Maybe we might see him in Season 2. Morticia's sister Ophelia and Grandmama Addams appear in the show merely by name. Grandmama Addams is referenced in passing speech, and Wednesday's dorm hall is named after Ophelia. Ophelia is a well-known character in Shakespeare's Hamlet. She supposedly kills herself in the story, and Wednesday was quick to remind viewers of the barbaric story that the name carries. The placement of Wednesday in the Ophelia dorm, which also happens to be Morticia's room growing up, has thematic relevance in the novel. She, like Ophelia, bears the weight of her family's ambition on her shoulders. Wednesday, no matter how hard she tries, will always be under her mother's shadow. But safe to say, she's the polar opposite of her. Wednesday's tendency to defy all odds are exactly what make her the polarizing and brilliant character that she is. Number 4, the beginning credits are full of spoilers. The eerie opening credits hint at a lot of what fans should expect. The first thing it shows us is a typewriter, which is a key aspect of this show's interpretation of Wednesday. She makes time for writing every day and is currently working on a new book about Viper de la Muerta and her relationship with her mother, Dominica. The Viper de la Muerta stories on Wednesday probably contain some personal elements. Other pictures, such as a teddy bear and a guillotine, a bee nest and a Venus flytrap, a crystal ball, and a moon, hint at what's to come. The following item, a Nightshade Society book, alludes to her discovery of a secret club beneath the Academy. Then there's her signature cello and a butcher's knife, items that hint at her musical abilities, as well as plenty of murder in this show. The most important image is of a barren tree enveloped in flames. Rowan Ross, a classmate, discovers a prophecy in which Wednesday and Jericho's founder, Joseph Crackstone, is burned by flames beneath the tree. The prophecy comes true in the show's climactic finale, but not in the way you may expect. The school is not on fire because of Wednesday. She is attempting to preserve it. The two hidden snaps come from the original Addams Family theme music. The Nightshades, the secret society at Nevermore Academy, have a concealed passageway to their meeting location. There is, however, no magic word, only a magical sound. Snap, snap, snap. The entrance to the Nightshade's secret passageway is opened by snapping twice, a nostalgic nod to the Addams Family theme song. The iconic two-finger snaps are featured throughout the song and have become one of the most well-known aspects of the fictional family's media presence. Number 9, Yoko Ono, an ode to the legend. There's no doubt that Yoko Ono made her mark on the world, so naturally Tim had to mention an elusive character such as herself. Yoko Tanaka, played by Naomi J. Ogawa, is a student at Nevermore that we infrequently see hanging around with Bianca. She's been described as a vampire with a Harajuku-inspired goth flair and one of the cool kids at Nevermore Academy. Her getup also mirrors the notorious description of her. She's been shown with long hair and a pair of Windsor spectacles, which are quite similar to those worn by Yoko Ono at various periods throughout her career. In episode 2, Enid casts a glance behind her and shouts at another student, and we're introduced to this ominous character. Yoko Ono has worn a similar pair frequently throughout her career. It's almost her defining appearance. Given Ono's status as one of the most influential multimedia artists of all time, Netflix's Wednesday nod comes as no surprise. And number 10, queer between the lines. Horror has always been strange. Queer stories have progressed from the subtextual to the literal in recent years. Enid's character in Wednesday can be viewed as gay for several reasons. For one thing, the pink and blue purple streaks in her blonde hair coincide with the colors of the transgender flag. In episode 5, Enid's mother makes a statement that is open to interpretation. She asks her daughter why she hasn't transformed into a werewolf yet, and goes on to hand her papers about conversion therapy. To this, Enid states Lucille, the family's cousin, allegedly spent 7 weeks at a camp in the Balkan countryside. It worked like a charm, Esther explains. Enid's response is priceless. She retorts that if she's meant to undergo such a transformation, it'll happen as per her wishes, not her mother's. She laments that she truly hopes that one day her parents will accept her for who she is. Her father, it turns out, is a lot more open-minded. He wraps his arms around her and tells her how proud he is of her. You do you, he tells her. Given that conversion treatment is estimated to cost the United States $9 billion per year, everyone from the LGBT community to heterosexual American taxpayers may support Enid's move. It should also be noted that Eugene has 2 mothers that visit him in the hospital. It's only a few sequences, yet they're handled with care. We see Wednesday raising that LGBTQIA+ flag proudly. So, what do you guys think? Comment below on your favorite Easter egg and subscribe to our channel for more trending topics.